The Huskies now have one weekend of NCHC play under their belt. This time they're heading out west to take on UND. It's time for your Husky Hockey Weekend Preview. I'm your host, Nik Speliopolous. To start their NCHC season, the Huskies hosted the Colorado College Tigers, and the Huskies struggled in the special teams game. Colorado College scored 3 power play goals and shut down the Huskies' chances on their power play. Despite goals from Will Hammer and Jami Krannila, that would not be enough as the Tigers would add an empty net goal, taking Friday's game 4-2. Saturday, the Tigers would score 3 goals in a span of 10 minutes. Brett Larson turned to freshman Joey Lamoureux in replacement of David Rennick. In 30 minutes of play, Lamoureux stopped 13 of the 14 shots that came his way. The Huskies' power play was much improved from Friday night as Easton Brodzinski and Chase Brand both scored power play goals, but that would not be enough as the Tigers would complete the sweep with a win on Saturday, 5-2. Taking a look at your NCHC standings, both SCSU and Omaha have played their first games in the NCHC, but it is the North Dakota Fighting Hawks that sit atop the NCHC with 11 points with a 3-0-1 conference record. Behind them, Western Michigan, Colorado College. Denver, surprisingly 7th, as they have been 0-2-2 with 3 points in NCHC play. Now joining me from the rink live is Mick Hatton. Mick, as we look forward to the road trip to UND, first off, can we talk some goaltending situation? We saw Joey on Saturday night. Are we going to start to see him split time with David Rennick, or what's it like, Nolan?
I think right now, I mean, it's going to be David Rennick until, until further notice. Joe Lamoureux did a nice job when he came in relief on Saturday for St. Cloud State. He's a guy that got a little confidence, I think, out of that experience. It's always good to have a good backup goalie, and it was good to get him into a game and get him ready in case they need him again.
And you look at UND, they played very well against Denver last weekend. Are they really this good, or was it just kind of a fluke?
Well, a team that, when you take 5 out of 6 points at Denver, you're doing a lot of things right. And on top of that, North Dakota's 7-0 at home right now, in the top 6 in both national polls. There's a lot of good things to like about them. One of the top things, I think, when you look at them, they're 4th in the country in goals, but they only have one guy in the top 15. So their scoring is really well spread out. Jordan Kawaguchi kind of leading the way for them. He's their leading scorer. They're getting some help on the back line with guys like Jacob Bernard Docker and Matt Kierstead, a couple of guys that are chipping in from a defensive standpoint. But when a team is doing that well offensively, and then on top of that, their goaltender is sitting at 3rd in the country in goals against average. There's an awful lot to like about them, and they lead the country in penalty kill. So this is a tall order for St. Cloud State.
Now we're going to bring it back to St. Cloud State, and we're going to introduce something new called Mixed Picks. Who are 3 St. Cloud State Huskies that you're looking out for this weekend?
Well, I think one guy, just right away, I mean, that strikes me is Jami Krannila. I mean, there's a guy that, in the last few weeks, they think he continues to get better each week. He got his first goal over the weekend. They're looking for some scoring from basically anywhere, and I expect some good things out of him this week. David Rennick is another guy to watch. Obviously, I mean, you were asking me about goaltending earlier, and when a goaltender is sitting under 90% with their save percentage, they need a big weekend out of him if they're going to have a chance at either game this weekend. And then another guy to watch. I think the 4th line has been surprisingly strong for St. Cloud State. Will Hammer's doing a nice job at center, so I'll go with Will Hammer as the 3rd guy.
Hammer and Krannila, both goal scorers. Recently, David Rennick looking to shut the Fighting Hawks down. Thanks, Mick, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
The Huskies will have this upcoming road trip in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Friday's game will be at 7:37, and Saturdays will be a little earlier with puck drop at 7:07 p.m. Those games can be caught on NCHC.TV. The week after, the Huskies will take off for Thanksgiving break, and then they will be back on the road as they will travel to Miami of Ohio to take on the Red Hawks. That wraps it up for Husky Hockey Weekend Preview. I'm Nik Speliopolous. Go Huskies.